welcome to another episode of Hostile Therapy with your host, Big Red. And returning for another episode is Big Derek over there. Big D, what's going on?
Hey, D, what's happening? Power to the people.
Out to the people. All right. And also join us on the Hostile Therapy Therapist panel is newcomer Alexa.
Hey y'all, I'm Alexa.
After I give her the horns too, she look like she's getting ready to order something from McDonald's or anything
You gotta
soon.
cut it out. Stop it. Cut it out.
She like she'd be perfect.
Grubhub,
We
Uber
about,
Eats. Hello.
yeah, we about 1 minute into the show. Shots fired already.
Already. It's okay. I'm built for this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
built
yeah,
for it,
yeah.
baby. I'm
We
built for
gonna
it.
see.
You
We
about to
gonna
see
see.
that you will.
Oh, yeah, man. So, Alexa, how was your day today?
Oh, my day was chillaxful. I didn't do any homework. I didn't do any housework. I didn't do anything that I didn't want to do. That's always a good day.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
we got to
yeah,
take that sometimes. We got to
yeah,
take
yeah,
those
yeah.
days. I took it.
Just, just as long as you can balance those days with the days that actually need
Of,
production done. You
of
know, so
course. It's all about productivity, you know.
absolutely, absolutely. Chillaxful. Look, I've been on this earth 41 years. First time I heard that word.
You got to take your power back, you know. You can make up any word you want. I make words up all the time.
You know what? That's true. Like I feel that way about holidays. I I don't go with the traditional holiday. You know, if I want to create a holiday, I can do it whenever I want for whatever reason I want and celebrate it
Exactly.
with whoever I want. So yeah,
I
I don't really
concur.
know where red went. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? I just started doing this probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it hit me like, damn. I just felt like I've been lied to my whole life, especially in like the school systems and stuff like that. And
Right.
if they can put this stuff in a textbook and like okay it to be taught to people, what
Mhm.
else has been told to me for me to believe? So
Lots of
gotta
stuff.
learn it. Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. So gotta learn to think for yourself.
I know that's right.
So look, you're new to the show. Um, won't you tell everybody who is Alexa Page?
I like to kind of think of myself as a shrouded mystery. No, I'm just joking. No, honestly, I'm a chill type chick. You know, I got my opinions, of course. Um, some might agree, some might disagree. I respect everyone else's opinion, so
Right.
I consider
Okay.
myself well rounded in that fashion. Like I'm not gung ho. I believe everybody has their lenses that they see life through, and therefore everybody's going to have their truth. So
Yeah.
that said, you know, in regards to subject matter, as far as me just as a regular person, you know, I feel like I'm a cool, calm, collected chick. You know, I like to do artsy stuff. I'm into music. I like the performing arts. I love to write. I do poetry. So, you know, just all around.
Yep. Yep. I peep some of your work. I peep some of your work.
Are you piecing the poetry? Did I get some snaps?
Peep
Snap,
some.
snap, snap.
I don't know how to stamp.
Oh, okay. Never
Uh,
mind. I gave you a pass. You got to get that
yeah.
snapping together, though. You got to work on that.
Do it again. Let me see.
It's it's like a boom, 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 boom. That's how you got to do it.
So so let me ask you. When it comes to snapping for poetry, is it how do you know is it a certain amount of snaps or a certain speed snap you give for stuff that you like more than other?
It's, that's a yes and no question. See, subconsciously, yes, subconsciously, you just kind of snap. But when someone's real good, you automatically put a rhythm to it. Like you don't even know you're
Yeah,
doing it. It's like a
yeah.
like if you
I
go
don't
to a
know if
really
you.
good poetry slam, yeah, you go to a
Uh
real
huh.
good poetry slam, and you find yourself snapping with a rhythm. That means they
Right.
drew you into the poem. You know, it
Right.
did what it was
Right.
supposed to
Right.
do. It just
Yeah.
you know, yeah, that's what it's
So
supposed to do.
I seen on the few examples that you gave me on how to snap, you was doing it. Did you know you was doing this? Like you was doing all this with your snaps and
I
everything.
was
Did you
doing all that
know?
because yeah, because I'm into it. You know,
Okay.
I'm
All
a
right.
poet
All right.
myself. I'm into it.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't know if you was unconscious of the movement you
no,
were doing when you was
I'm
doing the
invested.
snaps.
I'm invested. You
Okay.
know, I ain't new to this thing. I'm true to this thing.
No. Boy,
Y- You know what I'm saying?
I am mad at
I, I,
you. I'm not
I
mad
love
at
poetry.
you. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go back to what you said about people's opinions and their truths. I think that's so true. Like who am I to tell somebody else that they're wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they see it and they process it differently. Obviously that's their truth, and you
Hmm.
have to respect that. So I no longer say that people are wrong. I just don't agree with everything that everyone says.
You gotta agree to disagree sometimes.
Right, right, right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Um, yeah. I mean, I think that's the best. It's probably the best thing you can probably do is just agree to disagree. I think if
Yeah.
people adopted that theory, a lot of relationships wouldn't have gotten broken or any type of
Right.
conflict. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I feel like it's your level of understanding. If you have an understanding of a certain reality and somebody else is 100% against it, you gotta digest the fact that you can both still be right. For
Mm-hmm.
example, you can read a children's book, right? It says Mary had a little lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to somebody who just knows their ABCs, what are they going to read? Mary space HAD space A space so on and so on. Is that person wrong? No, because they're comprehending from their level of understanding. Then
Right.
you got somebody who can, spell. They're going to say,
Right.
Mary had a little lamb. They might not know who Mary is. They don't know what a lamb is. They just learning how to, and then
Put the
you have
letters
someone at
together.
another level, they can actually picture Mary with a little lamb. So, it's your level of understanding. And once you grasp that concept, you don't have to worry about arguing or debating so much because it's like you
Right.
accept people where they're at. You let them have that understanding.
Right. So I'm gonna take it a step further and just be like, certain things you can say one thing and it means two different things. Like double entendres. I think that's what they call it in rap. Um, like for example, what's coming to mind is something that Jay Z said. He said, and I'm trying. It's not going to sound cool how I say it, so just
It's all right. Go ahead.
that's the disclaimer, right? This shit is not going to sound cool.
All right.
Jay Z
Y'all been
said,
disclaimed. Okay.
yeah. JC said, "Ow, I'm turning heads like owls. I'm the man of the owl." It sounds the same. It's like the you had owl, owls, hours. Um, maybe that wasn't even the good.
No, no,
That
no.
wasn't a
That's
good
that
one.
that was perfect because if you listen to it real quick, it's like you said, it sounds the same.
Right,
But it's the
right,
setup, it's the prefix that helps you decipher what he's actually talking about.
right, right. And the
To be
cadence.
honest, Beyonce kind of adopted that too. So I follow Beyonce ever since Girls Time. A lot of people don't even know about Girls Time. So way back in the day, she was in a dance group. So I was
Right.
watching
Yeah.
way back in the
That was
day, and so
before
yeah,
Destiny's Child.
yeah, way before that. And
Right.
so I noticed that she does that a lot now too, which she didn't do before.
Right.
Before she connected, with him. So I can understand how that helped her writing and her,
Right.
just overall. I'm not that she's a phenomenal artist. She works her ass off,
Right.
but I'm just saying I can see the input that and the
Yeah.
influence that he had
And
on her.
that's great to be able to learn something from your partner. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And not only learn it, be able to apply it to make people like yourself, her big time fans, see that change in her since they've been together.
right.
So yeah,
A
I
lot of people
think
are just in the beehive because she's on top, but me, I fell in love with her worth ethic a long time ago. Her worth
yeah,
ethic is like ridiculous. I mean,
right,
they
right,
finally did a documentary about it, but before it was like people didn't know. Like this child did not sleep. I'm talking about like
right,
for years, maybe five
right.
hours at the most every day.
And
So, mhm,
think about it. You think about so many people that have came and gone, in the music industry, and then you look at the ones that have lasted, seems like forever. Those are the people who have found their passion and they constantly work to improve on that one passion. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Beyonce, most definitely. Jay Z, Eminem, my boy LeBron James. You know what I mean?
right,
Like,
mhm,
and they're still on top of the game, even though they've been in the game for uh,
decades.
decades,
Yeah,
decades, right?
yeah,
So yeah, man.
mhm,
So and you still on top of your game, still known as the best
yes.
performer with Beyonce, best lyricist with Jay Z, MVP of the league with LeBron. So you gotta appreciate that.
Because it's like they practice like they have the spot and they're trying to keep it, and then when they get the
Right,
spot, they practice even harder.
right,
They don't just
right,
say, "Oh, I made it," because those are the people that go like this.
right.
But the ones that stay at the top, it's because they ain't not
They're
trying to
gonna
go
keep
back to.
climbing.
Yeah, they ain't trying to go back to the rinky dink. They ain't trying to go back to the chitlin circuit.
Right, right,
I can't believe I just
right.
said chitlin circuit, but yeah.
Um, Speaking of chitlins, do you eat chitlins?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I stopped eating for a long time, and then one year I say, you know what? I can eat them once a year because at the end of the day, if something happened and that was the only thing left to eat, I would tear them legs up. And they do
Excellent,
have history behind them. They have history behind them.
excellent.
So for
Right,
me, I feel like it's more than just don't eat pork, don't eat it, because if I was that health conscious, I wouldn't eat red meat either.
right.
I wouldn't drink alcohol at all, ever, not even wine. So it comes a point where you got to just realize, like, why are you really doing what you're doing now? Am I gonna be a weekend chitlin eater? Hell no, that's nasty. But Thanksgiving, possibly Christmas. First of all, it's a labor of love to clean them mugs. You just can't trust nobody to clean them.
Well, I do sea loaf. Have you ever heard of sea loaf?
No, never heard of it.
It's just a big block of supposedly already clean chitlins. They're clean, they're chopped up. All you do is you open the pack, throw it in the heat, and let them cook up.
And you don't
Delicious.
clean them again after that? Oh no,
Nah.
see, I don't care what nobody says on this earth, on the face of this earth. I'm going to clean chitlins. I don't care if they say they've been cleaned 5 times, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to clean them again. That's just
Woo!
for my peace of mind.
Hey,
I'm
look,
sorry.
look who it is.
Power. Whatever I was about to say was so powerful. They try to cut me off. They're trying to end me. They're trying to put me out the game, but I won't let it happen.
It's the Illuminati.
Man.
It's
Damn
the
Illuminati, you
Illuminati.
know what it was.
That's what we always say. It's the Illuminati trying to stop
Anytime,
me.
anytime you're trying to do something good, Illuminati is trying to take you down, and I will not let it happen. Thank y'all for holding it down.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
We done talked
Life's
about
work.
Beyonce chitlins.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah, yeah.
chitlins. The last part I heard was chitlins.
Been all
Oh
over the
man.
place with it.
How did you connect
So,
Beyonce with chitlins? I want to know that.
Well, see, she had her first singing gig at a chitlin festival. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I wouldn't have doubted.
yeah, look, you had me. I was believing. I was like, word.
Nah, we was just going all over the place. But yeah.
Whew. Okay, now that stressful time is over. Uh, whew. Now that I'm back, D, how have you been, man?
You know, life is good. Life is good. Just bought me a new little, well, it's not new, but a little beat around car. Um,
A beat around car.
hmm
Describe to people what a beat around car is.
It's just a car to get you from point A to point B. You're not trying to look too flashy with it. It's
That's all the
just
car's supposed to do.
hey, hey, hey,
Really.
hey. This is my
I'm
answer.
sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. That's all I'm supposed to do, though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah. You're right, but you know, certain cars are made for like style and like look at me. You know, certain cars are made to haul a lot of junk. You know,
You
so
talk about
this
my
one right
car
here.
now. It's not nice.
Uh, nah, I'm talking about uh, my truck, man. My truck hauls around a lot of weight and stuff like that. But my truck definitely eats up a lot of petrol, and petrol
Fancy with.
prices are going up. So if it ain't about the money, I'm not driving it.
Yeah, that's cool.
If it's not making money, I'm not driving it. You know,
That makes sense.
yeah. So,
Most people don't do
um,
that though. Most people going to try to get
well,
the. Well, guys don't do that. We get it for the women. We get the cars for the women to look at
Yeah,
us,
I do.
and so
well,
we can
I,
court them.
I'm going to I'm going to not totally agree with that. Some guys do.
Yeah. I said most guys. I ain't say
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Most
Yeah.
guys
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
within,
Yeah,
and
most of them do.
I won't say within their means, but yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's the
Shoot,
nature of it.
outside of they mean sometimes. So
They
look,
do all
Alexis,
that
do
just for
you?
them to cheat on to do with a bus pass.
Oh, never mind.
Somebody that
I
makes
was
them
going to
laugh.
see.
Anyways,
I was
go
going.
ahead.
I was going to see what your thoughts were on that. Do you
I
think
think
that's
it's
true?
BS. I think it might catch somebody, but anybody you catch quick gonna leave quick. So, you know, you got to look at that. I've never been a car person personally. Like I can see a fancy car and just a car that's clean, and I wouldn't know the difference. So I've never been a car person. I've rode in like cars I didn't even know they were nice, and then like somebody will say, "Well, that's a," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." I never knew it. I'm not a car person, so I wouldn't know
Right.
that.
Shout
So
out to Alexa, like guys on mopeds.
that's why I didn't say that. I didn't
All
say
you gotta
that.
do
I
is
just
keep it clean. Keep it
all,
clean.
whatever. That's
And
not
get
what I
another
said.
helmet. Get
All
him
I'm
another
saying
helmet.
that little piece of metal that is not going to. That's like 2% of what a relationship is going to be. Like what is you know what I mean? Like this person could be a dang crazy serial killer, abuser. You know why are you looking at a car?
Shoot, that's a
Right.
lot of percent for me. That car gets me from my job and back. If I don't have a job, I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have her.
Well,
That's like 68%.
Yeah. Two
that's
percent
all.
is
I
That's
kind
go
of
higher
all.
than
That point A to point B. You know.
yeah.
So
But
what's the
some of them don't
point?
do
And
that though.
yeah.
Some of them,
All I'm saying is that it's not that serious. If you want to like this is for the people. If you want to try to find your little jump off sneaky link whatnot, yeah, do the flash because you definitely gonna get them like that. But if you trying to find somebody that's really trying to get to know you,
hmm
what's the point? All that is that's fluff. It's
Well, that's
listen.
fluff.
that's to get you in the game first though.
Right.
Not
But
always,
that's
but get in
Yeah,
the game with who? In the game with
women,
who?
women, you have to be
Well,
have something
what
to
type of
eye
women?
for.
Do you want the type
Anyone,
of women that wants to ride in that car, or do
anyone.
you want the type of woman that's going to help you put gas in the car? So you have to decide that.
Yeah.
What type of woman do you want?
They're gonna tell you to put their own gas in your own car.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay,
Gas, gas in your own.
okay. I'm saying women that wants to build with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
That's what I'm
right, right.
saying. So, do you
I
want a
got you.
woman that wants to build with you, or do you want somebody that's looking for a meal ticket?
Hand up. Yep.
I mean, they
That's
can
the
do that
difference.
without being a meal ticket, though. But, that's just a flash, though. It's just like
I don't
engaging.
know. I'm sorry. I just have a whole vagina, and I don't know nothing about being a woman.
Whoo,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
we won't trying to
whoo,
get into that. But
I'm sorry.
whoo.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Listen,
I didn't know
listen, all
nothing about
y'all.
the way women think. I'm sorry.
yeah, because you're not being pursued by another woman. You're being pursued by guys. We know what
No,
attracts
it's
them.
not about being you at
She
different
locked in.
stages in your life.
Hmm.
At different stages in your life, you're going to be looking for different things.
That's true.
Okay, it's not that one woman is worse than the other, but I'm saying if you're in the arena for trying to get a woman that's trying to build with you, then that's what you need to do to attract them. Don't put out the flash. Everybody talking about gold digger, but guess what? All you do is put out gold nuggets.
Oh,
So that's what you want. That's what you want is a gold digger. If you're putting out gold nuggets, it sounds like you're trying to have an Easter egg hunt to me, my nigga. So
I,
like damn.
I'm just saying what glitter shines the most, and people are attracted. Moths are attracted to light for some reason.
And then that's who
I
you
don't mean
attract.
that it's bad. I ain't saying it's bad, but
You get who you attract.
people are attracted to flashy things. Uh, you rather? I mean, people are going to be more attracted to Sanford and Son. Well, they're going to be attracted more to a nice BMW than a Sanford and Son truck.
They're gonna be
Well,
attracted
well.
to it, but this is my
I ain't
thing.
saying
Are you
that's
gonna sign it over to them?
no. I'm just saying they're going to be attracted to it. That just gets your foot in the game. I ain't saying she going to act, steal all your ass.
Even back in my heyday, when I look at what I call my heyday, when I was just whatever, thought I was popping and everything else. When a dude would come up that was just immediately, I make this much, I work here, I drive this. The next thing I said is, are you about to sign all that over to me?
I,
Are you gonna sign it all over to
you're
me?
going deep in it. I
Then it's
just the car.
ooh, yeah, exactly. So why would you present all that up front if that's not what
I'm
you're
good with it.
offering? Present what you're offering.
I'm not see you going deep in it. I'm just saying have the car. The car gets the eyes. What you do after that is up to you. I ain't saying present it like you can have this world if you get with me. I'm just
That's
saying,
what you're saying subconsciously. When you,
well,
when you
just
show all that, that's
subconsciously.
what you're subconsciously trying to tell them. Like
Well,
this
if
is
she's not
what's
that
waiting
type
for
of
you.
person, she won't do that. So if she's not
I
that type
present
of person, you won't have to
door
worry about it.
A, door B. That's what you're saying.
No.
Pretty much.
If I see a flashy thing of car rims, I'm going to look at it. I'm not trying to pursue the guy. I'm just saying it catches my eye first versus some dirty rims. Not saying that I'm going for
It
the
ain't
car.
got to be
It
expensive to
catches your
be
eye.
clean. It could be clean, regular rims.
It could be, but dirty rims are not going to catch your eye for the opposite sex comparing to clean rims. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying they're going to be a gold digger and they're going to go after your pockets. I'm just saying it catches your eye.
Maybe
Stars catch your eye.
maybe this is another subject for another time, but to you fellas, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be a gold, if you don't want to attract gold diggers, quit putting out gold nuggets.
That sounds like a
Oh no,
stereotype.
I don't do
I'm
that.
just
Like I'm,
I'm saying all women ain't like that.
I'm tight.
Uh, gold
I'm tight
nuggets.
with mine.
Good. You be splitting the
Funny.
bill. You be splitting
Shit.
the bill in the drive-through.
No, no, no. The thing is, like,
Order what
here's
you
my
want.
thing,
That's it.
and I'm gonna just hit this point, and then we can move on if you want. Uh, just me personally, when I first meet, like, if I see someone that I'm attracted to,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to learn more about this person, our first date is going to be over a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee, and I think that's safe. I don't want to take you to a bar because you're going to try to get the top end liquor or order the most
You
expensive
can't
thing
drink
on the
now.
menu. You can drink coffee in the morning,
That could be expensive too.
but I'd rather
I think some expensive coffee
Starbucks.
hit you
beans.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Starbucks. They got some drinks.
nah, we
gold
go
diggers.
to
And all.
Circle
Washington in the
K.
house.
We
Oh
go to
wow, no.
Circle K. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't judge. Great coffee. But anyway, as you were.
So let's leave that subject. Let's get into another thing. We're gonna express ourselves how our last couple of days have went. Me and D gonna do this right quick. It's a segment where we're going to express how things went with us lately through the majesty of poetry.
Mm.
And we're going to see what D has on his mind to release the anger that's inside of his heart right now. And then I'm gonna release some therapy myself in a segment we like to call Poetry Basement. All right, D man. We should go ahead and start us off with some beautiful poetry, man, and let the therapy flow through you. Tell me something that happened
All
to you
right.
recently with poetry.
All right. So I call this one
Oh yes,
toast. Toast.
toast. It's got to be deep.
Very.
Mm,
So let me set it up for you. All right. So
mm, mm.
sat back and reflected on my day and thought to myself, today was rough. I can't even front.
Preach, bro.
As I took as I took my last pull
Mm,
and exhaled, and exhaled,
mm-hmm.
then I put out my blunt. Stomach starts talking to me. What are we
Mm-hmm.
gonna eat? I said, let's keep it simple. How about bread, cheese, and meat? High as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Heard a voice in my head say, you know what, D?
Yeah.
Toast don't toast toast. Toast, toast, toast.
Mm.
I
Nasty.
replied, what the hell was in that weed? Because my mind is doing the most.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, snap that up, snap it up.
Back it
I'm gonna
up.
need some
Snap
rhythm on
it
that
up.
one.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
Hold up. I'm gonna go Matrix on him.
That's what I was waiting for.
Shout out
All
to
right,
D.
so Red, what?
Shout out to D for
Um,
being too high for his own good.
yeah, man,
OMGZ.
be like that sometime. Be like
Been
that
there.
sometime.
Been there.
All right. Now it's time for me to let some stress off of myself for a situation that happened last night. I'd like to read a poem that I made called Food or Dare. Could this be life that my stomach goes through this much strife? Hunger pains feel like the sharpest knife. Ah, hope comes in the form of a restaurant. Cookout be thy name. Grilled chicken sandwich, only barbecue sauce. Pull up to the window with the hunger of a horse. Follow the sweet scent from the greatest bird is the source. Cashier replies 673. I remove the top bun. Do my eyes deceive me? Mayonnaise where my barbecue should be. This devil's sperm has no place for thee. Replace this sandwich. It has offended me. The cashier responded, get thy vehicle from this spot. Mayonnaise condiments is all we got. I said, if you don't fix me another damn sandwich, I'm going to whoop your behind. And the price for that ass whooping is free 99. All this can happen if you don't give a damn or if you dare. You don't give me another sandwich, I will choke the life out of you till there is no remaining air. I didn't come to catch a case. I want no trouble from this place. But I will leave you without a trace. I just want a damn barbecue char grilled chicken sandwich in my starving face. Thank you. Thank
Did
you.
you get the sandwich though? I just need to know. Did you get the sandwich? Cause now I'm emotionally involved at this point.
No,
I'm emotionally involved, and I just want to know: did you get the sandwich?
they called management and called the police. I had to leave.
Oh
Did-
damn!
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, damn
They said they were going to press
racism.
charges. or
everywhere.
harassment. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when they start talking charges, you got
I mean, the
Well,
sandwich is almost worth it if
the
it had
skirt up out
barbecue
that
sauce.
mug. When they trying to charge.
well, you you
Right.
Yeah.
you threatened. You
Mm-mm-mm.
communicated a threat or two, so
Right.
Yeah, you got the skirt on out. Yeah, you gotta get the barbecue sauce from the corner store
Now,
or
you know what?
wherever.
You know, Walmart sells the Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce, not the barbecue sauce, the Polynesian sauce. You know they
Polynesian.
sell it inside the store now. Just want to
They
throw that
do.
out there.
Really?
They do.
Yes,
Are you sure it's the same one?
It's
yes,
the
it's the
same
same one.
one.
I've gotten it. Trust me.
This is my face of disapproval.
You don't believe me? I wish I had some right now, but
I'm
I
sorry.
went through it in a
I
day.
don't. I'm sorry.
I
I
went through
don't.
it in a whole day, so I don't have it anymore. But yes,
And you know what?
but
What else I seen? I go to Panera Bread and get their Fuji apple salad.
hmm
Oh, that
Um,
salad's bomb. Yes,
right,
that
right.
salad's
So
bomb.
that
Yeah.
they sell that salad dressing. I got it from I don't know where I got it from, but I got some. It was like a some type of not convenience store, but grocery store. They do got
You
that.
know what they sell that I haven't found here yet that I
What's
need
that?
to?
What's
Um,
that?
Chang's Mongolian Grill. The
oh,
sauce that they have,
oh, the chain. Okay, the sauce.
they have
Yeah,
the
I'm looking for
sauce
that.
for their they have these wraps. Oh my gosh, these wraps are so good. They're lettuce wraps. You can either get chicken, tofu, or like something
Tofu.
else.
hmm
But there's a sauce that you put on it. The sauce is what takes the longest. And now they sell it. So, I can make my own Chang's Mongolian Grill wraps. Anyways, I'm excited about it. It's a whole thing for me. And yeah.
Seems that way.
Well, speaking of people
Okay.
who are excited and actually not excited, Katie Couric. Katie
I'm sorry.
Couric recently did an interview on a podcast speaking of the Black national treasure, which is ours, Denzel Washington, in a negative light, saying she did an interview with him and she didn't appreciate how he came off to her in that interview. Let me play you a small clip of how she responded about that interview in this podcast.
Manchurian candidate. And I think he totally misconstrued a question I asked and kind of jumped all over me. And it was so uncomfortable because he was doing it with Meryl Streep, who played the Angela Lansbury character, you know, the politician's mom or
Right.
whatever. And I just remember leaving it and thinking, God, you know, I must have, I don't think I said anything wrong. I think I don't know what happened. Anyway, I think he must have been having a really bad day because he later wrote a big check to my colon cancer organization, which I thought was super sweet. And I love him. I admire him so much. He's one of my favorite actors. But I remember walking out and feeling really kind of shaken that he had kind of gone after me in a way that was completely weirdly uncalled for. But of course, politicians all the time are they have to be so careful because anything they say, you know, do and say will be held against them. And with videotape, you know, people running for office, they have to be so careful.
Right. Can y'all hold on for a sec? I want to express how I feel about the situation through song. You know, I've already done poetry, and I want to express it now through song with the world's tiniest violin. If you don't mind. Yes, I feel so sorry for the tears that Katie Couric has shed over the Black national treasure, which is ours, Denzel Washington, because she was shaken. She was scared to death for her life. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just had a moment there. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. Based off of that interview, this is just my opinion and my perspective. She gives me ETVs. She
Mm.
gives me Emmett Till vibes. because I don't like hearing something as descriptive as "I'm shaken" used in that context because it sounds like the situation that happened with Emmett Till, where it was something as simple as a whistle,
Mm.
allegedly, and now we know years later, Carolyn Bryant, who never got
Mhm.
charged or anything for it, she admitted it never happened, but she said that's what happened back then. It got him killed. Now I don't know something like that's gonna happen to Denzel because he
He
has a
Denzel.
force field of black people around him. He ain't going
Right.
nowhere. We protecting him. He's a national treasure, like I said. But that's immediately what comes to my head. Shaken. That just sounds like somebody who was physically attacked. I don't even think he, or maybe verbally attacked, cursed out, maybe. But
Mhm.
the conversation was pretty much about the movie. You ever seen Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to do with politics. And she was trying to get to the point, with should actors not really get into politics, and Hollywood folk should, Hollywood folk talk about politics and stuff like that. And he was like, what do you mean by Hollywood folks? I'm just a regular guy whose job happens to be acting.
Yes.
So I don't know this Hollywood folk that you're speaking about. That ain't me. Hollywood is just a sidewalk with a bunch of stars on the side of it. I'm not a
Right.
Hollywood
Right.
folk. And let's see what else he said. Okay. She's like, okay, all right, let me rephrase the question. She responded, are you one of those people that, there you go again. Am I one of those people? Isn't that interesting? He's like, oh, stop. That's Katie Couric. Katie Couric talking. He's like, no, don't stop. I heard what you just said. Am I one of those people? No, I am not. No, you are. And Katie Couric was like, no, are you an actor who would rather not? No, I'm not that either. I'm a human being. My job is acting. And that's something I do hate see people do when certain athletes, actors, anybody in entertainment has something of an opinion to say, and they're like, "Well,
Mhm.
shut up and dribble, shut up and act. You make too much money to have an opinion."
Right.
What is your opinion on this interview that Katie Couric came out and this is 17 years later, I think. Was it? Yeah, about to say this happened in 2004, and now she's just now talking about it.
Right.
What do you think of it? Your thoughts on this? Alexa, give me your thoughts on this.
Oh my goodness. SD. I can't even. I can't even. You go first. Okay.
Um, it's ironic that she's bringing it up now, while or when a lot of black people are being attacked, or not attacked, or accused. Some done did it, some didn't. But it's just ironic how she brings it up now after 17 years. Like, really, the Manchurian Candidate.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
Mhm.
what was that, number 4, 5 movie for like Denzel? So I don't know what she was trying to get out of it, but I don't care, man. I don't want to say too much because
Say
I
too
might not
much.
seem like a good person. No,
Say
I
too
don't want to
much.
say too much.
That's what.
Uh,
That's what this is for. Say too
Yes,
much.
exactly.
that's that's peer pressure, and I don't have to take that.
You gotta take it. You're gonna take whatever we give you.
Oh,
Oh wow.
you're new
Uh,
here now.
but
Like it's
but
like Lexa.
nah, like, yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, man, it's just weird that she comes out with it right now. I don't know what angle she's trying to attack
Sympathy.
or what she's trying. Yeah, like, but it's Denzel, man. Denzel, the greatest guy ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, not ever, but one of the greatest guys. Like, he's not known for
Like
being like,
Jesus and Denzel in that order.
right. Well,
I don't know that exact
okay,
order, but okay.
you
Oh, it might be
know.
reversed.
But yeah, man. Like, I don't think he has like an aggressive part in his body. Maybe she seen Training Day and was like, oh,
I
now
think training
I
day
don't.
after that. I think training day
Why
was after.
training?
No, no,
Why
yeah, yeah,
training day?
train. But I'm just saying that's the only time I really remember Denzel really getting down because she don't know him personally.
That's just
You know what I
something.
mean? And a lot of roles that he plays aren't as aggressive as he was in
Hmm.
Training Day. So even though I know Training Day was years and years and years, you know, from the Manchurian Candidate. So
That still be
Lex,
Mm.
foolish
I
though,
saw
because
that
that's the
training
movie
day and
though.
it just stuck in her.
right?
Mm.
So Lex, before you give your response, can I get a number 7 with no pickles, no onions, and
Hold on.
extra dry?
First of all, you got to pull up to my window first. That's the first thing you got to do.
I wasn't expecting a response like that.
Thank you
But
for coming
anyway,
to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please? Hello? I
All
said,
right.
can I take your order, please?
I like to order a response about what's going on with Miss Katie Couric and Mr. Denzel Washington. What's your response on that, Alexa?
I think Katie Curry is a old chicken sandwich with spoiled mayonnaise on the
That was
side.
my that was on my side. One I was trying to get off.
de- devil
Exactly.
sperm.
Right. What would be her
Devil.
reason for doing it?
You know, I feel like Katie is trying to pull a rabbit out the hat. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 3 to 6 months she's going to have something to present that is something she's going to tie to this whole incident, because you got to understand that people in that position, for the most part, they don't play checkers, they play chess.
Chess.
So now what we're doing is we're waiting for the other foot to drop. What was your angle? What was your aim? Why now? Why now? So we got to wait for the other shoe to drop, because basically this is what we call the beginning of a gumbo pot. And right now we just got the water boiling, okay? You These ingredients is gonna keep being thrown in there, and I don't know about nobody else. I cooks gumbo, baby, and I mean I cooks it, so I know it's an all day affair. It's an all day affair. So we gotta sit back and wait and see what else she gonna throw in that gumbo pot, because she got something brewing, and I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be connected to this. I don't know if it's gonna be some kind of women's workshop or uh some tour, a book, a podcast,
Mm.
something. Because why would you do it, Katie?
Yeah.
We the people want to know, Katie.
Well,
Why now, Katie? And that's where we're at, Katie.
well, it's funny that you mentioned that you're saying you're not playing checkers, you're playing chess. Now, I don't know if this is connected, but it seems very funny. It seems very funny. Not too long ago, I think maybe a week and some change ago, you watched Grey's Anatomy?
I don't. I'm
Don't
sorry.
you? Nah, I don't either. I've watched it a few times. Uh, an actress off of Grey's Anatomy, make sure I'm saying her name right, Ellen Pompeo. She
Didn't say that right.
got into an issue with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington directed an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. Only one that I know of. I don't know if he did any more after that one, but somewhere there was a discrepancy between them
Okay.
two. And Ellen, called him a motherfucker. Now, I don't know the deep details, but she was saying he was being rude to her, being rude to the cast. I haven't heard
How
anything
did
from
she?
Denzel coming back on it, but this has happened within the last 2 weeks. So I'm like, has Denzel Washington done something or said something? Well, all of a sudden, back to back news
Mm,
stories have come out. This doesn't seem like a coincidence, because Denzel
mm,
has been pretty clean when it comes to
right.
type of news story muddying up his name. But now, back to back weeks, Grey's Anatomy has got him, and the Today Show's, well, she's not on Today Show, but used to be on Today Show, star pupil, star teacher, has now come after him.
Hold up now, though. Hold up. Something just popped in my mind.
Yeah, what happened? Tell me. True.
Look, I ain't gonna get deep on y'all, but y'all know I'm a seer. I'm a seer. You know what just popped in my mind?
You see it
What
now.
if I I pick up things? I'm an
Okay.
empath. So
Okay.
let's see if some kind of big deal is coming out in the next coming months with Denzel. Some kind of start my own channel, start my own production company, start
Mm-hmm.
my own anything like that. If
Right.
anything like that comes up in the next 3 to 6 months, we already know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We already know exactly what time it is. Case
Right.
closed.
They
let's go ahead and assassinate his because you already know he is dedicated to telling our stories with truth, and he's
Mhm.
dedicated to telling the stories that a lot of people don't want told.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
So if and, you know when you work in these deals, it's always going to be a couple little rats in the boardroom. Who's to say word didn't get out? Who's
Hmm.
to say,
yeah.
this or that, and they trying to do some damage control. Let's go ahead and try to shut this down before it even starts. And I'm
That's
thinking that if something happens in the next 3 to 6 months where they're announcing, oh, he's starting his own production, or, maybe he's trying to buy this, or he's starting his own station, all the pieces will always come together.
right. That's kind of like old boy who redid Birth of a Nation. What was his name?
Yes, you see what they did to him?
Right, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it didn't,
Yeah, really
and
seen him
they
sneak.
tried to, right. So they tried to bring up an old case that he had that was
Hmm.
dismissed, but just a simple fact, just saying it just to not put out his art was the motive behind bringing it up. So
Yeah, but
I
look
can
when
see
it
that.
came out. Like, the exact moment those
Right.
allegations came out was right when he released
Right.
Birth of a Nation, the weeks of.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I
So
haven't really
This-
seen him doing anything for
and
after that.
since then,
Yeah, he might
since
have said
then,
that, but maybe it's been low budget.
since
I don't know.
since
This Birth of a
American
Nation, I
Skin,
haven't seen.
since all
nah,
that
he did
stuff, like he
American.
ain't did nothing major.
Nah, yeah, he did. He did American Skin.
What's that?
Exactly. He said,
Dang, I ain't
"What's
see
up?"
that.
Like
I mean,
it,
that's
it,
been
it
out for a
didn't,
minute.
it didn't get
That's been
no
out for a
big
minute.
club, or no, it didn't get no big marketing or no big pub.
I
So
mean,
even if
of
even if
course,
he worked on some
like
big projects, they're still trying to silence him.
it was even like, but that's what they're gonna do. I mean, like, when do they like? Why would they want Birth of a Nation, his version of Birth of the Nation, to hit the theaters?
Because of it's showing so many ugly parts
But
of
no,
America, and whether you know it or not, there are court cases going on right now
Hmm.
because
still
the more this stuff comes to the surface, the more the
hmm,
conversation is going to come up about reparations, about
right,
you know well really they're trying to keep that quiet because the truth is they will never be able to pay. And so there's court cases going on right now
They
with
can't pay. That never can. They never will. But there's a difference. They
well
can't.
they
They never
well
will.
you got to think
yeah,
about
they
it.
can.
You got to
They just
think
they
about it.
always will.
There's
Chicks.
so many people, and then we're so mixed up at this point and say, okay, well, this person gets this. Yeah, we will be bankrupt as a country if they ever paid what they said the equivalent of that 40 acres and a mule. They will never be able to pay that to every African American. They wouldn't.
They would find a
So
way. They would find just like they found a way for Jews. They found a way. They just like they found these checks
But
off out because
But
there's
that's why they're
Mexicans.
trying to keep it out of the news, though. They're trying to keep it out of the news, out of the school book, because the more people talk about it, the more people gonna say, "Well, damn, that is right. They
Hmm.
did pay.
no,
They did pay these other cultures for wronging them. They
Yep.
did
right,
pay the Native
and
Americans. They did pay the Asian community that they had in concentration camps.
Right.
They did
right,
pay all. They paid all this except for the people who built the country.
Hmm.
yeah,
So
and
now that conversation is coming
what was
up,
I
and
about
they're
to say?
trying to hush it down
That's what I'm
quick.
saying.
Well,
COVID showed me last year all them checks they gave out. They will find a way. They may not be able to pay everybody millions of dollars or whatever that was worth for building the
Hmm.
country, but they could pay some money. They have some money. I
They ain't
mean,
gonna pay it.
who would say we're saying that the country would be in debt? We're in debt now.
Yeah.
yeah,
We're in a deficit
Trillions.
now.
we're in debt.
We're in a deficit.
Trillions of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Trillions. Oh
that's
God.
what I'm saying. We got enough to pay for wars to kill people.
Hmm.
We got enough money. We could borrow money from somewhere else if we really wanted to. They just won't do it.
I feel like if
the
they
thing
just
about it,
wipe out the debt and give us a free, something to
next
where
part.
it can make it a little bit more. You can do something. No, you can't give everybody millions of dollars of checks, but you can do something. Wipe out the debt, wipe out the credit, any bad credit. Give a free ride to college, like that type of thing. I feel like would just further us because yes, we are behind.
Hmm.
We're behind. You can't sit up there and say that. And all these people, oh, I was born with money. I was born with money. You look into history, and guess what? The family was built on what? slavery. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's the same thing. And it's like if you
now
feel like you wrong these other people,
we,
pay us
I
too.
feel
Shit.
like, I feel like we're satisfied with, and we're not really, but they give us uh, like symbolic things. So they'll put up a monument in our on our behalf, or like with the holiday with the Juneteenth. That's not really giving us anything because everybody's going to benefit from it. You know what I mean? Like everybody gets a day off. Everybody's going to get paid. It's not just us.
That
You know
didn't
what I
move my
mean?
bank
They
account 1 cent.
right.
Okay,
So that's
Mine,
the
mine
thing.
it
moved
didn't
And
move
then
it. It didn't move
mine
it
moved
one
it
cent.
down.
right. And the
Really.
thing about it is the people who deserve to be off, they're still going to work because they're not going to shut down the fast food restaurants. They're not going to shut down the Walmarts, the grocery stores where a lot of us work. So are
Mhm.
we really benefiting from Juneteenth?
Nope.
Nah,
Just read a
we're not.
book and you know what Juneteenth is. But
But going
other than that,
circling
benefit.
back to the subject, media controls everything. Media always controls the narrative. So if
Right.
you
And we
have
don't
somebody
own
who's a
enough.
power player like Denzel, he's a power player. If he gets into the position where he's producing, this material, this content, this movies, whatever he's trying to do, because trust me, believe I got it in the back of my head. When I tell you I'm not crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm saying watch in the next year it's some kind of big project he was working on. I bet you it's gonna come out. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna have to do with media. And this is where these attacks are coming from.
Mm.
This is chess. I mean, no, this is
Yeah,
checkers,
like you
not
said,
chess. And so
this is
basically, they're trying to, And look, I ain't trying to brag on myself, but look, I'm third champion, third place champion. I play chess, so I know for a fact that you are thinking moves ahead, and these people who are trying to stop him, they don't want this flooding the media. They don't
right.
want these images and these truths flooding the media because that's what everybody is doing. That's what everyone's doing. They're watching nothing but Netflix. They're listening to music. So if you get in media, you have your hand in the cookie jar. You in there. You see what I mean? So you have
Uh,
to really like look at it like that. F all that other shit. F all.
You
I
said
felt
F, but then
attacked.
still said shit.
I'm sorry, Dan. Look, I got a sailor's man. Look, I'm a maritime girl. I used to work on the ocean. So, look, I'm getting better. But yeah, I used to curse like a sailor. But yeah, anyway.
nah, you're
but
fine. You're fine.
but the truth is, it's like all that other stuff is fluff. You gotta look at behind the scenes, like what's happening. They're gonna send anybody. If he grabbed a butt in 1995, they're gonna be okay.
Or,
They coming
or if he
out.
didn't. Or if he didn't.
Or if he did, yeah,
Right? Yeah, you're
you
right.
know,
Or if he didn't.
it's a lot of Karens out here.
So
It's just like that. I mean, that brings me back to that. Her perspective, if she's really being honest, she said she was shaken. She was scared.
mhm.
Like something was about to happen. Like Denzel was getting ready to attack her. I didn't
I
see
was
that at all
shaking.
from the review.
You wasn't shaking. Like, are you serious?
That's
Then
what she
you
said.
in the wrong business, boo. Because I mean, you look at listen to his tone.
Hmm.
Did he stand up like R. Kelly did?
Exactly what I was about to say. You read my mind. I was
He
about
didn't
to say
stand
that.
up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you weren't shaking. You're
Killing me with this.
come on
Y'all
now.
killing me with this.
No,
Y'all
no, no,
killing
real
me with
talk.
this shit.
Like she milked it. She milked it, and like she's reaching. She reaching, and somebody is pulling them puppet strings. I don't know who is, but she's. Let's see who the puppet master is. That's what we got to look for. Who is the puppet master?
Well, that's a good segue because the next conversation we're about to have is about R. Kelly. Uh, let's hear that one more time.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my
Okay, so R.
And the
Kelly,
Oscar goes to.
he did some great acting for that. Not one tear was
That was
shed.
real.
Yeah,
That was no acting.
The Oscar.
That
Okay. Yeah.
nigga scared.
but R. Kelly just recently got convicted In a real court. He's been convicted or not convicted in the court of public opinion for years now, over a decade. Uh, Sexual exploitation of kids, racketeering, a bunch of other charges he had. Could face possibly 10 or more years in prison. He still has to go to court for other cases, so we don't know how he may be in there for the rest of his life. I don't know. Uh, but the question has been arisen
Listen,
for many years. First of all, there's a division where people believe either he's guilty or not guilty, or does it even matter? Because the question we're about to ask is, spite if he is guilty or not, are you still going to listen to his music, or are you going to mute R. Kelly?
Lex,
And
what you got?
I have a reason, but my reason is probably different than most people. I'm not going to listen to his music, but it's not probably for the reason most people aren't. I'll let Alexa, I'll let you have the floor on this. Which one are you going with? Still going to listen to Happy
why you gotta
People and
start
all
over?
the rest of the lyrics, or are you going to mute him?
I'll say this as an artist. I feel like art is actually its own entity. Now, listen, don't shoot the messenger. I feel like I ain't even trying to get biblical on you, but it says in the Bible, the gift comes without repentance, right?
Mm,
That means that everybody is given certain gifts, period. Those gifts are for humanity. You're supposed to do it. If you're you're supposed to paint shit for the world. If you're a singer, you're supposed to sing shit for the world. If you're a counselor, you're supposed to counsel the damn world. My thing is, gift comes without repentance. So therefore, in my mind, I automatically separate the person from the gift because I feel like
mm,
that's not even like yours. I mean, it is, but it ain't.
mm,
Now, people want to mute him because they don't want money, going to him or whatnot. He's in jail. He got
Mm.
kids. He got a damn wife that was just a victim, just like everybody else. So personally, I don't think you should. Like, if you listen to it, I'm not gonna mute R. Kelly because guess what? Them songs didn't do nothing to me. Think about how many people is here today alive because of some of them songs. Okay, the population.
uh-huh.
Okay, the population is increased because of some of his baby making songs. You know, we
Hmm.
could have the next president might have been conceived to one of them songs. So all I know is you have to separate the gift from the person because one, they came down here to deliver something. Now, if you f up in the process, look, just like Moses, he couldn't go into the promised land,
Hmm.
right? But he led the Israelites out. He couldn't go, but he still did his work. So my thing is, the gift comes without repentance. I'm not going to sit up here and say the things that he created are evil and we shouldn't listen to because he's so much in debt now. First of all, he's not going to get out. If he does get out, it's not going to be the life. Come on now. He's already been knocked down. He's already been disgraced. His children, his staff, those are the people who are dependent on that check. Now, personally, I wasn't no big R. Kelly fan, anyways. Now, I can tell you this: I know for a fact he did do the stuff he did because I have a personal friend who had an encounter with him, so I know for a
Hmm.
fact that he does lure people, that were underage. So, anyways, long story short, I'm not muting R. Kelly because step in the name of love ain't did nothing to me. I see that as a different entity.
Hmm.
And am I going to get on there and buy a CD? No. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, turn that off in here. Oh, we don't do this. We don't do that. Mute R. Kelly. Why don't you mute some of them damn family members that's been touching people since 1945? You know, black people. We got to be better about handling our business in our own family. You got family members that's still up there touching folks and shit, doing stuff they're not supposed to do. Mute them first. Mute them. Mute them.
Hmm.
Mute Uncle Chester. Right?
Mm.
That should be the first person you mute. So, anyways,
You
no,
can't.
I'm good.
All
It
right.
is what it is. He in jail. He got what he got.
All right, Derek. What you
Um,
got to say?
First of all, Lex, that's a great point of view. I never looked at it like that, but like you say, you're an artist, so um, you know it's a different entity. When it comes to that. But I have to like I have nieces, and I couldn't imagine my nieces getting manipulated by somebody like that. So I would say I would have to mute them. Uh, Loved his music, man. That was my dude. He definitely helped me out in a couple of situations before in my life by getting GTD, got the
Oh,
draws. You know what I mean?
got
So
the dog.
so I'm gonna have to mute him. I'm gonna have to mute him just because I couldn't imagine you know one of my nieces going through anything like that.
Okay, so let me ask you this though, real quick. Is muting him going to reduce any possibility of one of your nieces being in that situation?
Nah, it's just a personal. You know what I mean? It's just how I think. I just think it's right. Like you said,
So you're just
Starbucks.
saying you just feel better just
Yeah,
inside.
yeah. Just like with Starbucks, I don't do
Okay.
Starbucks because of they had the three guys arrested. I don't do Denny's. Um, I don't even do Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? Just because of
Mm.
what I heard. I just heard this stuff. I don't know
Mhm.
who said it, but it came from somebody that was representing that company, and it's just a conscious decision that I make to do that. So
So let me
that's
ask
just
you
me.
this:
Hmm.
your soulmate, person that
Hmm.
is going to fulfill your life from
Hmm.
A to Z.
Right.
That person was conceived
Hmm.
during an R. Kelly song.
Okay.
Would you like to delete that whole experience and just live life, with random chicks that you never feel 100% fulfilled with? Or do you want to look at it like destiny played its role? Everybody's in their perfect place. R. Kelly's where he's supposed to be. He's in jail. And at this point, the music is made. The music does not belong to him. The music was made for the
Right.
people. God gave him the music to give to us.
Hmm. Yeah.
It never was his. Look at art. And so, I don't know. Like, do you want to delete the music and your soulmate at the same time?
Yes.
All right. Well, woo, she deleted. She deleted. Go on, player.
Yeah.
Hello. You about to go ahead, player.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So.
we're talking about muting or deleting somebody. We're not talking about deleting the past or what happened in the past or how somebody got created by the music. We're talking about the
No,
present
you
right now.
no, it's like,
Right now.
but you're erasing their
No,
art. You're erasing their
we're
art.
not
Hmm.
for
Art
now,
is
the present.
alive.
I mean, okay, there have been people created and birthed from rape. I mean, I want that experience to ever happen. It happened, but I want the person to pay for that too. It,
And
it,
he's
it happened.
paying.
For now, Bill Cosby.
All
Well,
I'm saying is they need to make a way
you
that
put
he
Bill
doesn't.
Cosby. Well, yeah, he's paying, but if you continue to listen to his music through streams and stuff, he can get more money, get a lawyer, maybe possibly get out because no one thought Bill Cosby was going to get out a couple months ago, and
Right,
now
right.
he's paying
So
for now. But who knows what's going to happen later?
so what they need to do is they need to reform the judicial system to make sure that they no longer benefit. That means that, yeah, let his music go, but make sure he don't get $1 from the damn stream. If anything, hell, give it to the victims.
Hmm.
Split it up between
Yeah.
the victims. All I'm saying is that if you mute somebody, like, that's not going to. First of all, people are still going to be listening to it, no matter what.
Hmm.
Why
What
waste
the
it?
issue?
That's like me. That's like me shredding a Mona, the original Mona Lisa.
hmm Well, what did the Mona Lisa do? Now, if just like there's some people who don't like the national anthem, they want to get rid of the national anthem because there's a stanza in there that speaks against black people, and they want to get rid of that. Why not just create a whole nother national anthem where nobody has to worry about that? We don't have to mute. Let's just don't
Why?
listen
Because
to it.
in 100 years they're gonna say that original one was never made, and they're gonna
No,
convince everybody it was never made. Ugly needs
history book.
to be here. It needs to be
Mm-hmm,
in your face. Because once you
mm-hmm.
start taking the ugly out the picture, you got lies, you got deception, you got fairy tales and stories. People are going to paint a whole new narrative, and guess what? You don't have any proof. Ugly needs to
Uh,
be here. As a matter of fact, they shouldn't even tear down these Confederate statues. What they should do is update them with a post or a podium and the
mm-hmm.
truth. Don't
Explain
even tear them down.
what it
Keep it
really
right
stood
there.
for.
Keep it right there.
That's a
Just
good idea.
tell the truth. Don't tear this stuff down because I
I believe
swear
that.
in 100 years they're gonna say it never existed.
I'm with you on that. That makes sense. I agree with that. I've said that on here before with the monument statues. Don't erase the history. Don't, as far as the
Yeah,
statutes, put a plaque on here like this was a slave owner. He used to kill or torture black
Right.
people. I'm fool. I'm cool with that.
exactly.
But with a
It's
song,
it's so
how
easy to
can
say that
you
never
change
existed.
a song? But how are you going to change that for a song? Because people are dancing or having fun with a song. They're not looking at like at a statue that has that on there. They're looking at a song like, oh, I'm having a good time. I can have a baby to it or have a good time. Now, let me get to why I say I'm muting him, which I said is different from most people. I'm muting him because I just when I listen to music, or if I were to listen to your poetry, if you were to do poetry, I submerge or I immerse myself into that poem. I immerse myself into that song. There's some songs I work out to. It's me, aggressive. Gets me to lift that last rep up, whatever. Or sometimes I might imagine I'm that person in the song. Now, let's just say we're listening to R. Kelly, and it's a romantic setting, and I'm not imagining I'm R. Kelly, but I'm imagining the moment. I'm imagining sex is probably about to happen. When now I have to think about it, the man who created this song, when he wrote these songs, was writing about a 14 to 15-year-old, and it just don't sit right with me. Not to say that's what everybody does. That's how I think of a song like that. Now, if I hear a song like "Your Body's Calling," I'm thinking he was talking about a damn 12-year-old or 14-year-old. Now I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is makes my erection just go straight down. I don't want to listen to this song. Just somebody remind me of this lyric the other day. You ever heard it? She's got that vibe. You heard that song before, right?
Who
Oh, R.
sings it?
Kelly hit. I think it was early '90s, and I never
Yeah,
paid attention to one
R.
part in
Kelly
there.
public announcement.
Yeah, there you go. That's all. That's all that. That's his old group. And at the end, he's just like calling out names like Joanne's got it, the vibe. Teresa's got that vibe. Betty's got that vibe. And then someone pointed out like there's a part in there where he says little cute Aaliyah's got it. I'm like, wow. I don't know how. Well, I was only like 12 or maybe younger when that song came out, but
Mm,
she was like 13 or 14 when that song came out. And now I
okay.
can't look at the song the same now because now I'm thinking about the person who wrote it. I'm like, he was talking about something else now. Or another example, uh, the song that he wrote for Michael Jackson, "You Are Not Alone."
Hmm.
Did you hear what R. Kelly wrote? Did you know what the song's actually about?
I remember the song. I mean, I don't remember no secret messages in it. Like,
Okay, well, come from one of the survivors of R. Kelly, the song was about her. The song was about her having a miscarriage as a teenager from his baby that he gave
mm,
her. He
oh,
impregnated her.
wow.
And it's like, before I had to look at pale Michael Jackson falling in love with Lisa Marie Presley, so that was kind of disturbing too, because he had his shirt off in the video. But now I know the song is about a miscarriage they had with an underage girl. And I was like, I can't listen to the song the same anymore. And it's one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. I
Mm,
can't listen to it the same anymore. That's my reason.
okay.
On top of, what he did there too. But the biggest thing for me is the imagery. I can't, the imagery just messes it up now, you know. And, I brought up one time about, okay, if you believe OJ is innocent or not, I think he's guilty, but It feels
Getting
different
guilty.
though with him. Like when if I watch old football clips, I don't think he's like running for the touchdown lane, thinking how angry he is about wanting to stab Nicole. It just seems different for football. I don't know, but music, usually with music, people think you portray a real life image with your songs that you write. They think that's who you are.
Hmm.
And if I since I have found out these songs are more likely written for a girl, it just don't feel the same for me. It don't have that same thing. That's just me.
No, and I can respect it because it's like you're connecting dots I never thought about. I separate the whole thing as
Perfect one
art.
there. Yeah. The title, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, it's like, hmm.
Yeah, exactly. No, no, no. I will tell you, I did think about that one when
Yeah.
everything came out. I was like,
A Pied
"Damn, I
Piper.
remember that song." Yeah, age ain't nothing but a number. So I'm like, was this what he was telling Aaliyah? To get her to spread her ego? Like, I don't understand. So
Yeah.
that's that's one thing that did come into my mind because I was always a big Aaliyah fan, and when I found out all the stuff she went through, at that young age, of course I'm disgusted, I'm appalled, but I'm like, the last thing we need to do is cut the money train off. Just make sure he don't get it,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That would
Does he
be
have Does he
real
have the
good.
because how
masters
else he gonna pay
to his
no
music?
reparations in jail?
No. No, he does have he can't read, so
He,
he signed off so many of his masters to everybody. That's why he's negative, I think, a couple million in debt now.
right.
Keep them records playing, pay the victims. Pay the victims and make sure that his story is out there. Make sure that people know exactly who he is. Cause how else he gonna pay? You're not gonna make no money in jail. Like,
Civil
you know.
lawsuit, I
Oh,
think, would be the next thing. I think
yeah.
Reggie
That's
mentioned that earlier.
civil.
I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
trust me.
Yeah.
I know how it is to see somebody who's a victim of that grow up. They grow up and they're just not. They're not even a normal functioning adult.
Yeah, that's
You
mental
know.
health. That's how mental health gets
Yeah.
started.
Exactly. And I'm gonna just be real frank with you. I'm a victim of that. So I know for a fact that when you are trying to rebuild your life and you're trying to see, what you could be, what you could have been, and yada yada yada,
Mhm.
it's a certain degree where it can rise and it can fall. Now, if the music triggers people to the point where they can't function, I can understand that. But if it's just mute him just to mute him, no, because that might be his last chance to pay any reparation or restitution. I'm talking about reparation, restitution. That might just make sure he doesn't get the money. That's it. Make sure he don't get the money. Make sure it goes to the victims. Make sure it goes to the parent. But let's keep it really 1,000
Mhm.
right now. Some of them parents is not all innocent either.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Some
agree.
of them knew what the hell they was doing, and they pretty much knew that this dude was funny and sent their daughters off. Now they
Well,
should be held accountable too,
well, you
because
see, okay. Well, go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. Go
that was it. All I'm saying is they need to be held accountable too. If you know for a fact that this dude has a history, and I'm talking about like in the latter years,
ahead.
and you're sitting up there sending your daughter there, like, oh, it's okay, because he's sending money back home. You don't know what the hell is going on with your daughter in this house.
Mm-hmm.
They can barely talk to you. They can't use the phone. Really? And now all of a sudden you want to be outraged when you knew your 15, 16-year-old was living in this grown ass man's house. I don't give a damn if he was R. Kelly or not.
Right.
I'm not sending my damn
I agree.
teenager,
I
you
agree.
know, like, and not knowing what's going on with them. And they can't barely talk to me unless they supervised.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you was getting paid. You ain't you ain't no better than the dang drug addicted, heroin, whatever. The people that sell their kids to the drug addict. That's the same thing for these parents. They need to be charged too.
Right.
They all need to be charged.
Well, with that being said, too, now if R. Kelly, which is Robert Kelly, the janitor that worked at McDonald's, I think he would have been convicted quicker versus R. Kelly, the celebrity. And why was R. Kelly allowed to stay out so many years without being convicted? Because he had money, because he was a celebrity. And that's why I'm
Mhm.
saying, like, if and I, I'm saying not what you were saying earlier. You were saying don't pay the, pay the perpetrator. But because it's set up the way it's set up, if he was to continue getting money off these streams, he might find a way to get out of it, because money can get you out of a lot of situations if you're rich enough. And that's why I'm saying, if you're going to continue to listen to him, I feel like you're supporting him at this point, because this is how the system is set up now. Right now, he's flat broke because, like I say, he couldn't read, he couldn't sign his masters, or he signed his masters over to a lot of other people. But
Mhm.
if he had been money smart, he probably could find a way to get his way out again. And
It's
listen to his music is supporting him and is paying him money. So
it's
that's another reason why I say, muting him would not help his cause.
it's a loaded topic because you know what? There's people that get so attached to some of his songs, like even though they're not gonna play it, like on they're not gonna go online and play it. They
Hmm.
can still play it somehow. If they
Right.
really love that song, they still gonna play it. If they really love it,
Yeah.
let's just keep it real. They
Hmm.
get in the moment, whatever, they gonna play it. If they got a lot of people over and they got a family reunion or whatever, they're gonna do the little steps, step, side to side.
I hate that song.
They gonna do that shit. Let's just keep it real. And they might not show it. They might not even put it on social media,
Hmm.
but they're so attached to that memory, it's not going anywhere. That's why I said that. If anything, push for reform. Push for reform to where he's not getting paid. That's all we can do. Because when you are making art and you're blessed to make art, that art is still blessed. That art is still blessed. I don't care how screwed up that person was. That art is still
It's,
going
it's
to
still a
do what
gift.
it do. It's still going to do what it do. And it's still going to be continuing to make good weddings, make good wedding songs for people to dance to as a group. It's still going to make new babies. It's still going to make new parties pop. It's still going to do what it do. Shun him, make sure he doesn't get paid, and make sure he don't get out of jail.
See, that's what people aren't doing, though. See, they're making excuses for him. A lot of people talking about, well, it's just music. People are worshiping him.
Oh
Uh,
hell no.
because
Mm-mm.
of his music, because he's a celebrity. Period. People worship celebrities every day, and they don't think they can do wrong. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of parents that if he did that as a regular person, he would have been in jail the next day or
Oh
dead.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
because he is who he is,
yeah.
they'll let it slide. They can be
Hmm.
bought. They have a price, and that's the fault of people too, parents as well. So like you were saying too, some of the parents need to go to prison too for what they
Yeah.
did. They continued this. The only reason why he was able to, besides money, be able to last this long is because of
Hmm.
those parents, the people who enabled him, his friends who enabled him. Like, nah, you ain't doing nothing wrong, dog. Keep doing what you're doing.
Some of them didn't even come forward until he stopped paying them.
Exactly. Right.
Literally, they didn't come forward to say nothing until he stopped their payments. So basically, they was the pimp.
Yeah.
Basically, they was a pimp because it's like, oh, you're not sending me no more money. Well, hey,
Now I
you a
got
child molester.
it.
You
Hmm.
know,
Now I
just
got
like
more.
that.
Right.
Hmm. They
All
need to
right.
go to jail too.
I
Yeah,
totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. All right.
it's sad. I mean, don't let the nigga out of jail. Whether you mute him or not, he is where he needs to be.
Right.
You
True.
know.
Okay. All right, let's scoot on to our last topic, main topic for tonight. We're talking about which is worse for the black community,
Oh.
racism or colorism. Before we go into that, let's look at the definition. Let's go with racism first. Racism is the belief that people of some races are inferior to others and the behavior which is the result of this belief. And we go with colorism. Make sure that's big for everybody to read. Mine's cut off. Discrimination against people with a different skin tone, especially within the same racial group. Okay, let me take that off the screen. I can't see anything. Okay, so we'll start off with the question. D, we'll let you start off. Which do you think is worse for the black community, racism? And when I mean when I mean colorism, I mainly mean
I know what you mean.
colorism within our own community. We can
Right.
talk about colorism, going in at the outside world too, but mainly colorism within our own community. So, which one do you think is worse, and tell us why?
I think um, racism gave birth to colorism because of the whole field nigga, house nigga, or the paper, what is it, paper bag test,
Yeah, the brown paper bag test.
brown paper bag test. So I would have to say I would have to go to the origin of it, which is racism.
Hmm.
Racism definitely, because if it wasn't for racism, I don't think colorism would be a problem. Because if you look at, I ain't never seen like an Asian person say like, "You Asian as hell," or you know, white people be pale. You know what I mean? Like you're white as hell, but like with black people, me personally, I done heard, you black as hell.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny now, but it was sad back in the day. But I don't know where I was going with that, but I think racism it started it all. So if it wasn't for racism, I don't think colorism would be a thing.
Okay, Alexa,
Mm.
do you think is worse?
I'm gonna
There you
keep it
go.
real.
Get it right. Get it right. Get it right.
I don't think colorism it really even exists like that. I mean, I think it exists when people want it to exist. Um, I think people push for it to exist. They push harder for it to exist than it really does exist.
Hmm.
Racism, of course, it's gonna be the worst, but I feel like colorism is like a card that people pull out the back of their pocket when they want to make a personal point. And the
Hmm.
reason why I say that is because my family has always been all across the spectrum. Okay, all across the spectrum, and I'm talking about literally from your darkest skin tone you can even have. To me, you're not. You say you people tell you like you're not even that dark, really. To me,
Well, the
I got
light. I
family
got
members.
good lighting.
It don't matter though. I'm just saying I got family members that's way darker than you,
Right.
and I got family members way lighter. So my thing is, um, I see people who pull it out, and usually the people that pull it out, they want to be like recognized. It's like a light skinned person that says, "Oh, everybody doesn't they treat me different because I'm so light skinned and so light skinned and so pretty," or else it's a dark skinned person saying, "Oh, they doing like this because I'm dark skinned," and I'm just like, no, it's because of you. Like I don't know if y'all ever watched Basketball Wives, but
Hmm.
there's a big thing with OG. I don't know if y'all watched it or heard about it.
Which city is this one?
I think it was Basketball Wives LA. OG, she was the girl, she was like part African or all African, and she
Hmm.
played football.
Okay.
Anyway, she was aggressive as hell. She threatened
Okay.
somebody at every event. That was just her.
Hmm.
But every time somebody said something, she always went to, "Oh, it's colorism." And I'm like, "No, you're a violent bitch." That's what it is. You know, that's what it is.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with being colorism. Like, you're violent. I'm like, I've watched every season. You're violent. Period. And then you got these, so-called light-skinned girls. Usually they're not even that cute. I'm just gonna keep it real. There's ugly and cute and pretty and fine in every shade.
It's true.
In every shade. So you will find the finest person that's dark skinned. You find the finest person that's light skinned. It don't matter. It's your features. You got some ugg mugs in every shade, in every color. and you got some fine people in every shade. So my thing is like, don't look at it like a shield. The people that I come across, for the most part, 99% of the time, they're looking at it as a reason to say, "Oh, I'm being outcasted. Oh, I'm doing." Nobody gives a damn about yo. Like, come on now.
Mm,
First of all, you know what I mean. Like, what else is it? What else is going on?
mm,
Now, if you're dealing with a racist person that's hiring or something, maybe that's your reason. Maybe somebody's hiring and they want somebody at the front counter that's whatever looks like they
mm,
more European or whatever the case may be. That is an isolated situation. I don't think it's widespread like people make it seem.
mm,
It's just not. I don't think it is. I'm sorry. I don't think it's as widespread as people claim because they say, you know, they did this because I'm dark skinned. And no, it's something else, honey. Check your character. And
well,
they, yeah. Mm-mm. And these light skinned, like, especially the girls, they always say, dark skinned girls don't like me. No, you don't like dark skinned girls because
mm,
your time clock ran out
You just don't
and you're
like
not
black people.
popping no more. Yeah, because back in the day you was so called popping. That time clock ran out.
mm,
Now everybody's on equal playing ground. So you find a lot of light skinned girls that think that oh, I'm popping because I'm light skinned. No, you're not, and
mm,
you're not popping because you're dark skinned either. You popping if you're popping.
right.
That's it. You popping if you popping. It don't matter what shade you are. You can be ugly, you can be cute, whatever. It's it don't matter now. We
Mm.
over that shit. This is 2021, baby. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'll go with this. This is something I looked up. Skin tone bias, which is pretty much what we're talking about here. It's not just in the United States, but around the globe, there's skin lightening products for people with darker skin that they use, and global sales by 2024 are expected to go to $9 billion, up from 4 billion in 2017.
Hmm.
And it says somebody's using those things.
Right,
That,
right.
let me go with just anecdotal uh, evidence here. This is just from what I've seen, and maybe this is just more of a southern thing out here. The Bible Belt. I've seen it from both sides. I've seen abuse from dark skinned to light people, and abuse from light skinned to dark people. Where they've been light skinned people have picked on dark skinned people, and like no one wants to date you. Nobody would ever date someone that dark or whatever, and make jokes about the dark skin. And then the other way, where dark skinned girls, and it's mostly girls. I was saying mostly girls. Guys happen too, but I see it mostly girls. Where girls, dark skinned girls, would beat the tar out of some light skinned girl just because she's there. I'm talking about middle school. She didn't say it. She would be quiet as hell, wouldn't say anything. She'd be the quietest one in the room, and she would get bullied.
Hmm.
I've seen it from both sides. Um, from guys, and this is speaking from some light skinned guys I know. I know they'll go above and beyond. Not all of them. Let me make sure I'm not be, you know, general with this. Not all of them, but I know a lot of light skinned guys will date nothing but dark skinned girls, and I mean they won't go for medium complexion, no light skinned girl, no medium complexion, nothing above that. They have to be the darkest of the dark, and it's almost like they're overcompensating. Not to say they can't find a beautiful, but it's like they won't date anyone else, and it's almost like they're overcompensating, trying to say, "Look, I'm dating this dark skinned girl. That means I'm black too." Not, and I've asked a couple of them like that, and they've told me in confidence, like, yeah, it kind of does make me feel like I belong more because you get told as a light skinned person, like of my hue, that you're light and almost white. You're not close enough. You're not gonna see somebody like me in Black Panther, and Black Panther is like the symbol of blackism in America. People love everybody that's black loves Black Panther, but you're not gonna ever see me play T'Challa. I'm not dark enough. It's almost like telling you, you're not black. You know, when I see a lot of light skinned people do stuff that's good for the black community, People call him black, and they're cool with him. He's a good person. But if he ever does something out of line, like, well, that's that white part coming out of him. I've heard that before. And like I said, I've heard light skinned people talking about I will never ever date a dark skinned girl because I just don't date that kind. Or I've heard dark skinned girls say I won't date a dark skinned guy because I want a pretty baby. I've had women tell me that. Like that turned me off immediately. I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody like you. If that's your
Hmm.
thought process, because everybody is beautiful, and in their own skin tone and own way. I don't like hearing stuff like that. That's it. That's just been my experience. And with that being said, I think colorism is worse because if you have somebody getting you to believe that you don't belong to your race or you are not beautiful enough for your own race, then anything outside of that doesn't matter. If you don't think you're beautiful within your own community, you can give a damn what the outside community does. I think there's a lot of black guys or black women who've been shunned like that and will go date white people because of that. I've seen stories of that, like, oh, uh, I don't like your skin tone, or they get bullied when they're younger and from black people, and then they go date white people because they end up getting treated better. Not all of them, but there are some like that. I feel like if you're strong within your own community, you can conquer racism.
Hmm.
Nowadays, in this world nowadays, if you have a strong community, black community, racism can't stop you. I don't think we have that now. I don't think we value our own skin. I don't think we value our own people. And I think a lot of times that's why racism has gotten in the way. We sometimes use that as a crutch. That's my opinion on it. That's from what I've seen. But there have been statistics if going outside of it from white people as far as hiring people. You kind of brought that up a little bit. Light skinned people end up getting the jobs a higher percentage more than dark skinned people, and light skinned people end up getting sentenced less for crimes than dark skinned people. That's something that exists at least outside of our community. I don't have any evidence based what happens inside the community, but it does it exists in, I would say, every culture
Hmm.
I've ever heard of. Asian people, and indeed you brought it up, they have issues with light skin and dark skin. Japanese people, Chinese people,
Yeah, I do.
Korean people. It's all over the world like this. Africans, it's all over the world like this.
Well, I do want to bring up a point, what you said with the lightning creams. Okay. It's really easy to tell if somebody is using them to try to be lighter. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to get patches. They're going to, you can tell.
Right.
And for myself, I'm a caramel complected girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my skin is very highly pigmented in the point where basically I can get, and I know you're probably going to laugh when I can get the darkest of the dark in the summertime.
Right.
And in the wintertime, I can go the opposite direction. So
Mm-hmm.
that's because of my pigment content.
Right.
Most black women, they have to buy 2 to 3 shades of foundation, right? If they wear foundation, I have to buy at least 5 or 6 if I were going to wear it every day. That's just how much the scale. And then on top of that, like right now, I can pinch it for 10 seconds, and in 2 minutes you'll see a scar.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my skin.
Yeah. Everybody's. Yeah.
So when it comes to those creams and stuff, don't think that everyone's using it to lightening. Because I got some in my cabinet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I even scratch my, or if I get a breakout or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's so dark. You get spot treatment.
Right.
Now I have darker tone friends and family that will say, "Oh well, what do you got this for? Oh, you trying to be?" Obviously, if my whole body is one color, from here all the way down,
Yeah. Man.
then I'm using it from spot treatment.
Right.
That means if I have a scar or anything,
Mm-hmm.
even working out too hard, like you can, like I ain't trying to get too detailed, but I'm just saying if you work out too hard and your thighs rub too hard,
Uh
that
huh.
can literally darken. So it's just like, it's spot treatment. So don't think that the people using it are just trying to quote unquote be lighter. Some people
Yeah.
scar easily. Some people have, pigmentation
Absolutely.
problems. And
Hmm.
hyperpigmentation. You can go outside for 20 minutes with some sandals on, and that print is on your foot
Okay.
just for
I,
20 minutes of being in the sun. You got that exact print on your foot like a dang tattoo. So now you gotta use something to try to even it back out.
yeah.
Now it's not the same as them harsh chemicals they use when they like basically perm in their skin.
Hmm.
That's what they're doing, like especially in Jamaica and
Yeah.
those kind of
That's
islands.
what
Like
I'm referring to. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they like literally perm their skin. So
Hmm.
there's a difference between toning
Hmm.
and bleaching.
Yeah.
Bleaching is
This guy.
damaging. Yeah,
This guy.
exactly. That's bleaching. That's crazy. And then their skin is like paper thin after that. It's paper
Hmm.
thin. You know, it's susceptible to diseases, and that's not the same thing as toning.
Hmm.
Because when you tone, you're basically correcting. Like I got scars right now. You can probably, I don't know if you can see them, but dark spots
I
from
can see
just
him.
shut up. Dark spots from just like a little bit of what
Hmm.
scratching, anything like that. It comes just like that. So it ain't just the products. It's
Right.
the mindset.
Yeah. I'm just more focused on the people who are actually doing it. And I mean, whether we think that's a epidemic within the black community, that's another conversation. But for the
I think
people
it's more
who do
Caribbean, like
think it's
Caribbean and like
okay,
Africans.
yeah,
I don't think African Americans really, because it's dangerous. First of all, it's like hella dangerous. Like you can get all kind of diseases from doing that, and then it makes your skin paper thin. Like I don't even know like who would do that, but hey, you never know.
yeah. Lil Kim,
Maybe somebody I know. For me personally, like the girls I meet that,
Kim.
well, yeah, she's doing it obviously, but she
Mm-hmm.
don't like herself. Like, didn't she want Christina Milian to play her or something?
Yeah,
Well,
something like that.
yeah, she was
Definitely.
mad. She was mad because what's the girl named Naturi?
Yeah,
Who did a
Notorious.
phenomenal job. She's a
I thought
beautiful
so too.
woman. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. She did a phenomenal job playing her, but she
Yeah.
was mad because she wanted Christina Milian to play her.
All right. And do you think that's because she was dark skinned,
Like,
or she did a bad job?
you are not Mexican, ho, but she really wanted her to play her, and I'm just thinking like everybody would have laughed their socks off if that girl would have played her. So
Right.
she need to be glad
Like a
that she
Lifetime
didn't.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. They would have laughed their socks off if she played her. So I'm just like, we remember how you look, Kim. Don't
Mm,
forget.
Yeah.
Okay, the EO Nana, we remember that shit
Which,
with the colorful wig. We remember what your real color is.
but she looked better back then than she do
Like
now.
Lil Kim's like my
100%.
color, Mariah Carey's color.
right.
She pretty much Mariah Carey. Like she did that to herself, and then she looked like a damn owl the last time she performed. A freaking owl, baby owl, just hatched out the damn egg. So I'm just like,
Damn.
you see, with the little thing, with the little point. I was like, oh my goodness. I was just like, oh, why'd you do it, Kim? Why'd you do it to yourself?
She ain't love herself. Somewhere along the line, I think. Well, it may not have anything to do with. Well, she changed the skin color, so I imagine that has something to do with it. But she changed the nose too. Somewhere
Yeah,
along the line, she doesn't like herself.
it's sad because
Cheekbones.
she was a beautiful like she is
Well,
Yeah.
cute, like now she looks like a creature. So
right.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
sad.
true. Like,
I mean, and look, no disrespect to Kim. I just because I loved her music, I still like her style, but she failed in that department. She failed in that
You
department. Like you
can't
should have embraced it.
you you can't say somebody look like an owl and be like no disrespect.
all right.
Well, no, no, the meme. You seen the meme? The
Hey,
I,
meme, the meme is going around. When she did the little
I ain't
tribute,
shit.
one.
it's like
Oh,
a no.
yeah.
They put her side to side. So
Mhm.
she had her bangs cut in a triangle. She had them eyes that she got done because now her eyes look Chinese. So she got her eyes done like this, and then she got the point, and then she had like this big white
Right, right, right.
furry thing on. She looked like an owl, and I'm just like, whoa.
Nah,
Now Google it. Look, Google Lil Kim
Mm,
Owl. You'll see it. So
I'm about to
that's
Google
how
it.
she looks.
I'm about to Google it now. Keep talking.
Memes all over about it. I can't believe you haven't seen it. But she looks exactly like an owl,
Oh,
like an owl.
damn. Hold on. Let me
You see it? I know you see it. So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
Hold on.
how she looked. So I'm like, why you do that to yourself, girl? You didn't have to do that. Because she kept going
Mm,
further and further and further, taking another step, taking another step, taking
that's
another step.
mm, mental
She should have
health.
stopped.
Oh, that's mental health.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up right
And I
now.
got friends that,
Good.
Mm,
they act like they don't notice. I'm like, okay.
wow.
You see what I'm saying? Now you can't tell me she don't look like a dang owl right there, right?
Yeah, you. What does she have on in the background? She got on like a baby outfit or something.
Yeah, it's like a
On
puffy
it?
thing. It's a puffy thing. And then the dance. You gotta Google the dance. The dance, she was like,
Was it better than Mary J. Blige's dance at any time?
it really wasn't. I mean, they probably neck and neck. They neck and neck.
Damn.
But she was doing like this little. I mean, she danced like an owl. It's like you gonna look like an owl and dance like an owl. You gonna expect
Hold on,
nobody
hold
not
on,
to
hold
call
on,
you an
hold on,
owl.
hold
She was
on.
dancing like that.
I ain't never seen no owl dance.
If an owl would dance, that's how they would
Okay, that's
dance.
better. That's what it looked like.
If an owl could dance, that's
Okay.
exactly how I would expect an owl to dance. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how she was. She was doing this little shimmy shake, and I'm just like, Cam, what is going on? Like, did you pop a Molly or something before you got on the show? I don't know, but
Wow.
But Derek, man, tell us more about what you experienced, man. As a young man up until this point, what you felt like was colorism. What have
Oh
you
wow.
experienced?
Um, you know, kids, and like when I was a kid, like I'm totally fine with it now, but back in the day, getting picked on, my clothes weren't the best either, so that was like a double whammy, and it was more with the girls. I wasn't popular with the girl. I was very athletic, so the upperclassmen, they didn't give me no problems, but it was just like the females. See a little dark skinned boy with, not the best of clothes, and nobody really dealing with me. Females anyway. You know, it's but now it's totally
Did
different.
they call, did they call you names or anything? Or
Oh yeah,
just didn't
absolutely,
wait?
absolutely. Yeah, they called me names, pointed at me, laughed, did whatever they could basically to get everybody else to laugh.
Yeah. The same thing I experienced, but I just had to learn how to shoot back. And then it was just
Okay.
like we were cool. We became friends after that. It's just I just had to learn how to shoot back. You don't get bullied. You just bully back, and then the
Nah.
bully doesn't like it, and then y'all become cool after that. That's just my experience. I'm not saying that's
Yeah.
everybody else because some people
I
get it
mean,
worse than what I ever got.
but now, those same ones that used to talk all that nonsense, you trying to get at your boy, but
From
you
15,
know, I,
I remember there. Yeah, I remember you, boy. You done
right, right,
changed.
right. So,
And in the
see, I
gym.
don't feel like I can speak on it too much because honestly, like, I feel like I'm literally just brown skinned. So
Mm-hmm.
nah,
I've
you go
never
through.
been.
Yo, you go in there because they got a song for you.
You look. You can either look like Red or you can look like me. Like,
Right, you can go in between, right?
Well,
right,
What's
right,
my
right.
thing is I've always just been brown skinned like my whole life. I've been like I call it peanut butter complected. That's
mm-hmm.
why I describe myself peanut butter complected. Like I'm not
You said
a
you said
Caramel
peanut
extreme.
butter.
peanut
I'm not
butter.
extreme, to either side. So,
Right.
but I do have people that like, especially back in my dating days, I had people who would say like, I usually date white girls, but I really like you, and I'm
Is
like, look, don't start now, nigga. Okay, I'm good. I do not want to be your first black girl. No thanks. I'll pass.
Right.
So, like I feel like it's your personality and I don't want to be anybody's color. Like if you're looking for a color, then you're not looking for me because you got to see past that first.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I might be this or that depending on the season. So
Hmm.
let's not do that. You know, I got pictures that you wouldn't even recognize was me because I grew. We lived in Puerto Rico when I was younger. Now
Yeah.
this is me being out literally in the sun all day, every day for years.
Hmm.
To this day, people will have to look like zoom in, like you wouldn't even believe it was me. That's how dark I was. And then there was years living in Washington where I just didn't feel like going outside.
Hmm.
Way lighter than I am now. So
Right.
I'm just like, it just depends on the season. I just have a high pigment. Like I can have little or a lot of color. And if somebody's looking for a color, then like you're not even on my level anyway. Like if that's what you're looking for, you're not even on my level anyway. Just,
Hmm.
go find who you're looking for. It ain't me. I'll go ahead and disqualify myself. I'm good.
You're not at the. You're not
Yeah,
in the.
I'm good.
Yeah, you something else. You something
Yeah,
else.
I'm just like, look, first of all, I'm
You
from
every.
another damn planet, damn near. Like, shit. I ain't even from Earth, motherfucker. I don't even consider myself human half the time.
Oh, Lord, what did I
So,
bring in here? Uh, let me speak on this part, and D can probably speak to this. He didn't want to say it yesterday. He was nervous about saying it. Light skin and dark skin. Guy, this is amongst the guys mainly. Light skinned guys are usually seen as softer, weak, won't really fight. And dark skinned guys or brown skinned guys, usually, at least out here anyway, it, they seem like they're more apt to fight. And people will say they're more angry than another skin tone, which is ridiculous because it's about where you're raised at and who raised you, how you were raised or whatever. But that's the view of light skin. There's so many memes about light skinned guys, and people usually use Prince in the background with one of his crazy Fruit of the Loom clothes he has on, and
hmm
making like this is how light skinned people pose, and usually he's got some effeminate pose.
blouse on. You got a
Right,
nice blouse.
right, right. Like Prince
Blouse.
is supposed to represent all light skinned guys for some reason. Like there's no tough light skinned people. If there is, he's an anomaly. Prince represents every light skinned person ever invented.
mm, 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 mm.
And
I
and
don't.
I don't know if it comes from. I think part of it because of I think it comes from slavery. I think it comes partly because light skinned people are a product of rape,
House.
pretty much.
Not always.
Well, I'm talking about in slavery days, not now.
Yeah, yeah.
And mainly that's what happened
Um,
in colonial times, antebellum times, is the master would go sleep with a black person and out came a light skinned baby. And there's the other separation. Light skinned baby maybe staying in the house, dark skinned person stays outside. More separation because I hate what he has. And that has continued throughout the generations unless you break that curse.
Mm.
all right. If I had to chime in on that, I think I don't see it that way. I think white people might see it that way, or people of other, you know, races may see it that way. But yeah, I know plenty of light skinned cats that can throw down. I know plenty of dark
Right.
skinned cats that can throw down. You know what I mean? But if you
Right.
put a light skinned dude and a dark skinned dude in a room with a bunch of white people, I guarantee they'll keep their eye on the dark skinned dude because they're more afraid of him
Yeah.
because of Red, what you said, what racism has portrayed dark skin to be. You know, we're dangerous, like super predators. You know, that's why like it was like blackface. It's not light skin
Right.
Mm,
face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's blackface. So
You know why that is, I think? I think because we hang out amongst each other. Not all of them hang out with us, so they don't know how we
right,
roll.
they don't know exactly.
So they're just pretty much guessing.
hmm That's the aggressive one.
Society.
Right.
Yes,
Watch him.
it's what society says that we're programmable people, so we believe what everybody else
Mm.
believes for the most part.
All right. Good discussion. Good discussion.
Have the answers though,
Calm
because you
down.
trying to give me advice about
No,
something.
no, no,
You
no,
ain't
no.
you ain't
Listen.
got the answer.
By the sound of Kanye being disgruntled, it's time for the end of the show. I thank everybody for joining us for another episode of Hostile Therapy with me, Big
I
Red.
had a good time.
Right.
Bye, y'all.
No, don't leave yet. We ain't gone yet.
Oh, I thought we was tuning
No,
out.
no. I'll tell you when to leave. Don't leave yet. Being so brown skinned right now.
You said
Oh,
ready to clock
oh
out.
no, not round two.
Ready to clock out. Forgot to put your headphones up. Clocked out.
I know, right? She ain't even out of work yet.
Jesus.
She ain't even
Oh,
checked the
man.
register yet.
Everything free. Everything free. Oh.
Thanks for everybody tuning in with Big Red, Lexus, and Alexa, and D.
Oh, whoa, oh, oh.
All right.
I was about to get you.
Big Red, Alexa,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
D.
Indeed.
All right. Thanks for getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. We'll see you next Thursday. See what crazy topic we're going to talk about. I hope everyone has a good night. Peace out.
Peace out.